Yo, what is up? What's up, guys? Welcome to Shady Sports Fantasy Reports, Season 3, Episode 2021. One of those episodes, I don't know what it is. But welcome back with us Sunday night, Week 4. We got some instant reactions for you tonight. I got my co-host, Seany and Justin in the back. I'll bring those guys on. I'm your bus driver, Cedric, as always, over here on Shady Sports Network, Shady Sports Fantasy Football Reports. We're bringing it to you. We got a lot of stuff. I know Justin already has some stuff about some of his players from his team. So we got a lot of, things to touch on tonight. And we'll get on that. But we'll go ahead and get this intro going. When we come back, we'll have some instant reactions to some games and then kind of go from there, build it out. We got some new segments too to show you guys. So let's go.
Sit back, relax a little bit. Let me tell you a story. See if yours is anything like mine. Remember when I was a kid? So much better when I popped the lid. Feel the rabble, open it up.
Exactly, listen to Seany. Right, and Cash App's the easy way to get money transferred when y'all with friends. So jump into that and then we'll get back to it.
He said, baby, jump in the back, boy. Tailgate crazy.
Oh, yo, welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Episode 20. Going into week 4, instant reactions. We got some good games that went on today. There were some close games, some nail biters, and then there were some blowouts too. So we'll touch on those. And then we had some big injuries today. I think there's some big injuries, some players that we could have used, and some fantasy teams that are just kind of falling apart right now. So we'd like to see what you guys got and see where we can help you, see what we can get going. But as always, like I said, I'm Cedric, your bus driver. I got Seany, I got Justin in tonight. We got the whole gang here tonight. So we're ready to bring it to you guys and get your teams right. So yeah, I mean, we'll start off with some instant reactions. I do like I said, I got a couple new segments. We got Justin's team of the week. Seany, I got your weekly winners and then your weekly bust. And I mean, I was, late putting those together, but putting those together when watching it out, I mean, you were pretty dead on. So it'd be cool to talk about those. But yeah, no, just some instant reactions. I guess a couple of games. Minnesota, Green Bay. We'll start off with this Minnesota, Green Bay fantasy implications because I mean, I know you got the Justin Jeffersons, the Aaron Jones, but there's other players that came back too with. Jordan Love came back. We had Jaden Reed come. These players came back in big ways. So,
Jordan Addison came back.
Jordan
in a big
Addison,
way.
yes,
Comes back off injury, snags a couple TDs, makes you starting him in fantasy an immediate win. I fired him up as a flex in one league. Was instantly happy about it. I did not think that Love was going to come back this soon. I thought it was too soon. These rookies, they're really antsy to come back. And when you come back that quick from an injury like that, his gameplay was dicey. And that Minnesota secondary is pretty good, but they're not as good as Love made them look. Lots of interceptions, lots of silly decisions, but ultimately an okay game with a decent comeback. They were down 28-0. Came back 28-14 the half. Didn't do much in the third, fourth. Started to come back as Jay Jettis got it going. Again, Aaron Jones. It's just I think everybody has to deal with the fact that if Darnold is on the waiver wire in your leagues and you don't grab him and put him on your roster, you're silly. And yeah, Minnesota, Darnold are the real deal. And as long as Jordan Love is a starter, now with Watson out especially, Reed is a set it and forget it wide receiver weekly.
Okay.
You guys agree? What do you guys think?
What do you think, Justin Reed? He's a set it forget it receiver. He had 30.1 points. He had 30 points today. 1 carry for 2 yards, 7 of 8 on his reception, 7 receptions for 139 yards and 1 tutty.
Mm-hmm.
Justin just looks so upset right now. Do we have to just address it right off the bat?
Do you ever look at your
upset.
sleeper app and see every team you're down by 30 points before the night game even starts?
No, not this.
You have
feel
multiple
you, Dane.
injuries in
I
your
feel
starting
you,
lineup,
Dane.
and you're just like, might
That
as well
was
just
last
hand
week
out
for
free
me.
wins to people.
That was last week for me in a couple of leagues, bro. I feel you. But I don't know, man. I feel like you're too smart to let this affect you going
It's
beyond this
injuries
week.
is what it is. I keep getting hit by that injury bug.
Yeah,
Every
but
week
early.
I think I have my lineup set. I'm doing great. And then all of a sudden, injury bug is like, oh, here you go. Have this one. Have this one. So fantasy wise,
And your hot take today, you went down.
yeah.
Bidet. How do you pronounce it? Is it Batty or is it Bidet?
So I think he said Batty, but I think it's Bidet, even though he said that. But everyone says
That's what the
Bidet.
announcers were saying.
All the
But,
announcers say,
Yeah.
but the announcers don't know crap half the time.
right. But Justin, just know we have your back and we love you. We know that your teams are going to come back.
When I
We
saw
need
that
you
injury go
on
down, I was
Minnesota.
just like, that's my week for football. I'm like batty getting, well, I'm not like physically, but like mentally, I just feel like I'm getting carted off the field and I'm just done for the year. It's over.
Oh.
But no, it's just another nail in my coffin. It's going to make me harder to make the playoffs. But to get back to the Packers Vikings game, I'll break it down either side of the ball. I'll start with the Vikings. They did take care of business in the first half. I do not like how their coaching decisions were made for the second half and how they let essentially Green Bay come back into this game. Green Bay had no business coming back into this game. It was poor coaching and poor play calling that led to the Packers coming back. I mean, one of them was an oops play. The punt returner was trying to field a fair catch and he misread it. Ball goes over his head. Packers get the ball in the red zone and they end up eventually scoring, which started the comeback. But it was just like, why are you throwing it on third downs? Why are you not
run the
putting
ball,
this game
run
away?
the clock.
It should have been over, but they essentially let Green Bay come back in this game, which they had no business doing. This should have been a larger blowout. It should have been a more of a definitive win. But I think that's more on the Vikings not keeping themselves together than it is Packers' talent coming out on top. Because to begin with, on the Packers side of the ball, I don't think Love should have been back for this game. The way he was throwing, he didn't look comfortable. He was off balance a lot of the times. He was throwing off kilter throws. He wasn't putting any he had long balls and whatnot, but he did not look comfortable back there, and he was scrambling for his life half the time on one leg. He had a big game if he performed well for you, but I think this was a product of the Packers panicking and realizing that, yes, the Vikings are a for real team and we need our best player on the field, despite what level of percentage he is ready to go. But I think the Packers will clean it up next week, and they should handle business against the Rams in LA. It was a lot of points being scored, and I did not see the game going the way it did as it did today. Like, I was happy for Jaden Reed having a big game, but
a lot of people got a lot of garbage time points.
Yeah, but
based on shitty decision making, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like for me, he didn't save my team. Like he had a big game, and Love had a big game.
Lamar Jackson just threw a 20-yard touchdown pass to Hill to make the Ravens go up 21-3.
I was just gonna say, I just turned that game on.
Is Doug Peterson just like texting Sean McDermott and the Bills saying, this is what it feels like. This is what it looks like to.
They just showed his face on the sideline. He did not look like a happy camper. I'll tell you that. Down 21-3 at the end of the first.
Yeah. So to finish out the Packers game too, the player that I'm most impressed with was Dontavian Wicks. He stepped up with Christian Watts going down, and he'll be a great waiver wire sleeper add to your team and your flex spots going forward to next week, because the way that Watson went down, it didn't look good. And if we know Watson as well as we do, he doesn't recover well from injuries, so he's probably going to be out for a while. And
That
he's
pass
pretty much
share
probably
should definitely, it should
yeah,
benefit
because
him good.
Watson should be treated as mostly irrelevant for the rest of the year because he's going to be not fully 100% with that. It looked bad. I don't know if you guys saw it, but he got rolled up on a guy who ended up intercepting the ball, and his leg got caught up underneath him. So that looks pretty serious. So Dontavian Wicks would probably be I'm not surprised about Addison because how well the Vikings offense was rolling before he even got into the picture. This was more of like, I expected him to do this. Take the targets and the receptions and the opportunities you can get while they focus on Jefferson and make the most out of them. He hit it right away, the first drive of the game with a touchdown. He was kind of forming a Jaden Reed kind of role. He was playing in the backfield, taking rushes for touchdowns. He was doing everything. So if you held on to him and stuck with him up to this point, I think you'll be heavily rewarded going forward as long as that Vikings offense keeps humming.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he immediately went into my lineup as soon as I saw he was good to go, and it benefited me greatly.
What about this tight end from Green Bay, Tucker Kraft? Are you looking at him going forward? He hasn't done much. I mean, obviously, Jordan Love was hurt, but I mean, he came through big today with a tutty. He had the receiving touchdown.
He was plowing through folks to get to that end zone too. Tucker Kraft is a great tight end for blocking purposes. Musgrave is usually more the route runner and the guy with the better hands, but Kraft has kind of taken over that role and shown that he can do that. As far as fantasy relevance goes, the tight end situation is so bad right now that if Kraft continues to get a good volume of the pass share and can show the eye test that he is going to be a viable part of that offense, there's no reason why he shouldn't be on your bench behind your number one or the guy you usually fire up, or if he continues to be a red zone target to be your guy. I mean, you can definitely keep rolling with him as long as the game script calls for him, but he strikes me as more of a guy who's going to be your boom bust more often than boom. And even with the tutty, his ceiling doesn't kind of get you what a lot of these other guys can. So someone to keep on the radar, someone to maybe keep on the bench and keep an eye on. But for me, he's not a weekly starter.
Okay. Let me see. We touched on Aaron Jones, man. He didn't have that touchdown. He didn't get to do his Lambeau leap, but he did go off.
But he did his role. He got close to 100 yards. He got his carries. He kept the drives and the chains moving forward. And he did what was asked of him. I mean, I know the game script towards the end of the game.
You want him to be this season.
Even if he's healthy.
Not scoring touchdowns, he's a part of the pass game. He's getting yards after catch. He's breaking tackles. Aaron Jones, when confident and playing like he wants to be there, which he does every time, and he shows out. And you said it since the beginning. You've been drafting him like crazy. He's been in it to win it since the beginning of the season. And he is, after this week now, my newest addition to running backs that will win you your week every week. Solid RB2, even RB1 status every week going forward, especially with the way this Minnesota offense is rolling. I love to watch him do this, especially against his former team, and then I saw an interview with him after the game, and just his demeanor and his poise and the way that he gave this whole thing up to Darnold, and him knowing in practice from the beginning since camp that he was the real deal and that they put faith in him, and the coaches have been, I don't know. He definitely comes across to me as one of my favorite guys this season, especially in the backfield, especially for fantasy. I got to give a hardcore salute to Aaron Jones, and I know that's Justin's boy. So, I'm stoked on Aaron Jones.
Come join the Aaron Jones army, said.
I'm with it. I'm looking at him on my team, man. Like, they trust me.
He's got the sombrero, he's got the shades, and he's leading you to W's.
I already knew. So, I mean, we got the next game. We'll talk about. Want to talk about New Orleans and Atlanta, but we got a question real quick. It'll kind of touch close to home, I guess, to Justin, it seems. But
It's got to be all right. We got what, Tank Dell or Worthy? Well, we know what's going on now with Racing Rice
right.
gone. It's Worthy.
Worthy is all they have, right? Him and Kelsey.
Yeah, Worthy's going to be. Yeah, absolutely. Dell is just not a part of this enough. I think he actually wasn't Dell on the injury report?
He was earlier on in the week. I don't know if he ended up playing, but I can confidently say after this week, here is the pecking order in the Texans wide receiver room. It's Nico, it's Stephon, it's Tank.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Well, it might even be. Well, Schultz didn't really do much.
These are the three reads that Stroud has in order. Nico's his clutch, big performance guy. Stephon's the gadget, quick hit guy. Dell is the
close touchdowns,
change of pace, just switch it up, catch the defense sleeping. But right now, it's feed Nico, keep Stephon happy, and Tank Dell is unfortunately lost in this pecking order.
Yeah,
so,
both of those guys crushed it for me today.
Mm-hmm.
Collins and Diggs came up big for me today. But yeah, with Racing Rice, I mean, the ACL, it's obvious Rice is out for the season.
But these two players, this is how I'm playing it out with the fantasy season. I'm buying low on Tank Dell in a dynasty league if I can. And I'm willing to put in a dynasty league a first down for Worthy to get him and acquire him. He could end up being your league winner this year in your flex spot or wide receiver too, because he's going to get the targets. He's going to command receptions. And like he showed us today, he could catch defenses sleeping with 60-yard bombs. I mean, that's his MO. His MO is hit you with 12 points in one play.
Yeah, and that's it. Deep threat all day, fastest combine 40 in history, and he has showed that he's relevant, even coming out of the first game. Him and Worthy both had games that were worthy of fantasy starting. Worthy kind of fell back in the pecking order a little bit, but so did that offense. And Rice just took over in a big way. With Pacheco down and now with Rice down, this is going to become Worthy's going to feast. Justin and I always say it. Volume is where you want to be. Volume is where you want to go. His pass share should be crazy through the roof. I mean, who else you got there? I mean, what do we got?
We're
it's not
the
MBS.
Chiefs?
It's McCole Hardman.
If I was looking at other wide receivers to possibly snag on the waiver wire to stash on your bench to see what happens or possibly flex for their best case scenario, my honest opinion would be to go for Juju Smith-Schuster.
He's a good.
He seems to be getting the higher snap count over McCole and Justin Watson. And Mahomes just has that rapport with him. So if you want to buy low on a Chiefs wide receiver after these circumstances after today, I would be fine if you put 5-10% of your fab on Juju at the end of waivers just to have them.
You can get them cheap too, I'm sure.
Yeah,
at this point,
which is fine.
Absolutely. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, and Kelsey,
he's old.
It's been proven throughout, consistently throughout the history of this team, that even on days where Kelsey has a good day, like today, he had his first decent game. It was okay. I was actually happy to have him in my tight end position starting spot. But even when he gets his at an average to high level, one of those wide receivers will still be fantasy relevant. So if it's not Worthy, or if it's another guy like Justin said, you want to put some stock in, there is room for people besides Kelsey and Worthy to have some relevance in this game, especially with Pacheco out and with Cameron Steele doing nada.
And fumbling.
That was the worst pickup and start in a flex position that I had today, besides almost Garrett Wilson.
That was a lot of wasted fab, in my opinion.
I don't even want to get into it, to be honest, because
Yeah.
where I drafted Garrett Wilson and where he's sitting right now, my bench, is not where I want to have the guy. But luckily, Rashid Shaheed is a beast. Came back to help me out. But we'll talk about that when we get to New Orleans. But this Kansas City offense, it looked a lot better today. I think that might have had a little bit to do with matchup and, game script and how things went. But it was nice to see Kelsey more involved. I feel horrible for all Rice owners because Rice is, he's a guy that came in just last season, and these are guys that you invest in Dynasty that you look for longevity. And now, there's a stipulation that goes along with all these guys that come off of these ACL injuries. People tread lightly. They don't want to pick them up anymore. But, it depends on how bad this thing is. We got to read the situation. We got to wait to hear on the MRI. We'll wait and get a time frame and then make decisions from there. Don't go off and do anything rash. Don't go drop it on.
Well, they said
like
it.
that.
Oh, I guess there's the yeah. They're saying
He's
ACL.
going to be a guy that you could use and work with, trade. He's not
Trade.
just if he's out, drop it and forget about it. He's definitely worth keeping around and using as a bargaining chip if you need to, or if, like I said, dynasty longevity is key to keep.
True. All right. So yeah, we got our next game, guys. Saints, Falcons. Down to the wire. I thought it was some I thought it was personally some fantasy relevant players in this that you kind of think about. You're like, should I pick up this player? Maybe because I can play him in two positions. I can put him in my tight end and still get those points, especially when I need a tight end. If they're going to be consistent, but are they consistent? And yes, I am talking about Taysom Hill, but that's neither here nor there. But I mean, Algier.
Wow.
Finally had his day.
Algier is one of those guys whose name you're going to hear echo down the hallway for a long time to come. The only reason he's not more relevant is because the guy in front of him just happens to be
a freaking beast.
One of the most hyped up coming off rookie seasons running backs that there is. Now, Robinson, he hasn't been above and beyond amazing. And that's, I think they're getting Algier involved a little more. I'm it doesn't hurt getting 10 to 13 points, but from the guy that you have in your running back one position every week to be getting those points is, that's okay for a floor, but as a ceiling to not even break into the 20s, I'm getting a little frustrated with Bijan. Now, I'm not saying bench him. I'm not saying that he's not RB1 worthy. I'm not saying that he's not capable of having a 40-point fantasy game. I'm just saying he hasn't shown us it yet. And having Algier in there and on your bench as a handcuff is never going to be a bad thing. And, I'm just a little upset with Bijan's, fantasy performance. But, this is a professional athlete. He works his ass off. He's very talented. He's a big part of the game. I just think he needs to get involved a little more in the passing game than he is, and I think that he needs some touchdowns. He needs to get some more touchdowns. But other than that, I think sticking with him and watching him go, I'm just I'd like to see a little bit better out of him, considering anybody you draft as a first round draft pick, you use that kind of real estate on. You're expecting these guys to not only get what they're projected, but go above and beyond. You want your first round draft pick guys to be a 25-point a week guy that you can count on, not like hope he gets to the teens. That's why Garrett Wilson's been frustrating. That's why Bijan's been frustrating for me. But Algier he's been a baller, and I mean he's been talked about and relevant for the last several seasons as well. Always right there nipping at the heels, and I mean if he gets the goal line touches, he's going to go. So, but on the New Orleans side of the ball, I don't know how many of you guys out here, and it's so funny because Mike and I were talking about Play Best Ball League. But Taysom Hill is the ultimate best ball league draft pick because any given week that he plays and then he starts and he goes off, like he has those weeks where he does that, and you can play him at the tight end position even though he plays quarterback. So he's like the ultimate best ball draft pick. But other than that, he's too boom bust to trust in a normal fantasy league, purpose. A lot of people have missed a bench stash, and you can see him week to week, but still not a guy that you're going to, put faith in week to week. But Shaheed came back after the goose egg, scared me with the fumble early on, came back from that fumble to go crazy, kill it. I loved it, even though Olave had a good game. Kamara came back in a big way, healthy. From what I could tell, the eye test didn't show me that he was hurt too bad. Like what New Orleans did again. Carr didn't shine above and beyond and go like nuts and go off, but he was good. He was in there. Looked a lot better than last week. I was really happy with everything New Orleans did for me fantasy-wise as my starters this week.
Okay. Justin?
I invested 0% shares in any New Orleans and Falcons, so I don't like either team. I'm officially, I think, as far as the Falcons side of the ball, I'm frustrated with the fantasy assets on the Falcons because I believe that as long as these players are on the Falcons, they will never reach their ceiling. Bijan will never be a running back 1 on the Falcons.
Right.
Drake London will never be a wide receiver 1 on the Falcons. Kyle Pitts will never be a tight end 1 on the Falcons. If they were on any other team
unless they get a
in a better situation, they would be stellar standouts where you drafted them. This Falcons offense is garbage, in my opinion. It's a gross misuse of talent that I see and watch week to week. We should be getting 20, 30-point games from Bijan by now.
Thank you. Even with better coaching.
And the biggest complaint was Arthur Smith. We're at 4 games now without Arthur Smith, and this is what we're seeing. We're seeing sub-double-digit games from Pitts. We're seeing low double-digit games from London, and we're seeing boomer bust games from Bijan. And it's inexcusable at this point on the Atlanta Falcons. I'm frustrated where I drafted Bijan Robinson.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
And I'm frustrated with where I drafted Drake London. But I'm officially out on those. In the offense, in the Atlanta offense, I'm out on these players. In Dynasty, I'm buying them low if I can because someone's probably also feeling like me somewhere, and you try and acquire those guys because maybe, hopefully, one day they move on to a different team. But the Atlanta Falcons, I'm calling it, do not know how to maintain fantasy-relevant players to help win your weeks. It sucks because I don't want to be saying this about Bijan and Drake.
No, but that's the best quote you could have is a gross misuse of talent. That shit just hits my heart there. Like what I was saying about Bijan, dude, I agree 100%. This is a guy that should be having a ceiling of 40 plus, but we're seeing nothing but a floor of 10 to 15 tops. I
don't trust him anymore.
Who should have at least a touchdown a week, in my opinion.
At least he should at least have 4 touchdowns by now.
It's unreal.
And it's like what I'm saying. It's not the players I do not like. It's the offense that they're in, the team that they're on. You put them on other teams that need those sort of players, and these guys would flourish. The Atlanta organization is garbage. They don't know how to use the talent they have.
Yeah, I would love to see Bijan in Pittsburgh backfield. Oh my god!
Ooh. Or in Denver, put Bijan with the Broncos.
Yeah, that'd be nuts, dude.
See, Javonte ran a little harder today. We'll talk.
Yeah, I know
he kind of ran like his job depended on it, huh?
Yeah,
we'll get there.
That man ran like he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna lose my job."
Right, we'll get there.
Well, that number 3 going down today, since we're on that subject, it was horrible to watch. I watched the way his hips tweaked whenever he took that hit directly into the back, it was like something popped when he got hit, and then when he hit the ground, it popped back in. And the way he was laying on the sideline,
I
and
don't want to
4
talk
people
about
had to
this.
pick up.
Yeah, that's
We're
hard.
not talking
slide
about
the
this game
stretcher
yet.
underneath him. That does not look like an injury that any human being should have to deal with.
We'll get
I
there.
But I
feel
want to
bad for
finish up with,
Bidet,
I didn't
but
get to touch on the Saints, but I
Yeah.
think the mask is starting to come off from the first couple of weeks.
Yep.
Yes,
But at the
yeah.
same time, too, though, fantasy-wise,
Like
They're
Derek
still-
Carr
I'm
is
still
a
rocking with
QB2.
Kamara.
He's a low-tier QB. Like Kamara is like an RB2. Like I don't think their
Kamara's RB2?
offense is going to maintain the high power, high octane offense. It's going to have boomer bust weeks. It's just pick your poison when it's going to happen. Like, because we've seen it with Shahid. You're going to have a goose egg. You're going to have a decent day. Like
well,
Chris
he's only
Olave,
had
you
one
had a,
goose egg. Other than that,
Yeah.
he's been mid-20s every
He's been
other
going
week.
off. Yeah. He
yeah.
had
And it just
16, 15 today.
And Kamara, for me, is a set-it-and-forget-it RB.
25,
Yeah.
almost 26 points today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. Like, if you were taking my personal take, I'm just out on both those
We're
teams.
not.
offenses.
We're not, Justin.
I'm
I'm just joking.
We're out. I'm in with
It's
you
just-
on Bijan, but as far as Shahid and Kamara goes, they own.
I think it just made me mad too that Koo made that field goal because it's like the Falcons shouldn't be winning games
Yeah.
with this team.
Kirk Cochain,
I don't know,
man.
dude. I know for a fact, like, dude, some field goals that I've watched this season being missed by certain kickers.
The Packers,
have
if their kicker made those two today, it would have been a closer.
Super suspect,
It'd
bro.
be a
If
different.
Will Lutz would have made, but
Let's
anyway,
don't miss
we-
like that. Aubrey don't
Yeah.
miss like that.
look. We got our next game we want to touch on too, and then we'll get to our teams. But I want to touch on this Commanders Arizona game.
The only reason I'll touch on that is because Jaden Daniels is the OROY. He's
Oh,
the
definitely.
offensive rookie of the year. Hands
Well,
down, if he
give Bo
continues
Nix
this
another.
momentum,
We'll get there.
He's giving
Nah,
Terry
dude, I
Floyd
Jaden Daniels.
life.
Hey, I want to. Hey, keep saying that because when Jaden Daniels has his bad games, I want to go back to all these takes of all the, where you guys are saying.
I'm not saying I'm out on Nick. I don't think Nick's is going to
Dude,
catch
he
Jaden
makes
because
the
I'm not
offense
saying Knicks
behind
won't
him
have it, but
better.
I'm just
Brian
saying-
Robinson Jr. had another great game. McLaurin
Yes.
had another great game.
Mhm.
This is because Jaden Daniels has the patience, the confidence, and he's not just a showboat that's taken off every down like everybody says either. I mean, he has a little bit of that in him, but that's just a rookie wanting to get after it. I get that. Now, does he need to play it a little safer? Maybe. Because he's a little guy, and those guys are out there looking to kill his ass. So, but as far as the team around him, what he does for them and what he's doing for owners, for fantasy relevance perspective, keep this shit up, man. Keep it up. I'll take it all day. B-Rob gets another 18.2. McLaurin gets another 18 points after coming off a 26-point week against Cincy last week. And then I don't even know what Daniels had, but for fantasy purposes, like, keep it up, bro.
Yeah.
We got a question in the box.
Yeah, I was waiting to see if you want to tackle the question said.
Oh yeah. So I was gonna say, how do you guys feel? Because I mean, I have Kyler Murray in my Yahoo league. I just kind of have him set and forget. I don't care. Whatever. Like, there's no other quarterbacks that I think are gonna do.
Murray was
better.
a guy that I drafted as my QB2 just to see what he would do because of the Marvin Harrison situation, him being his rookie, and maybe trying to get that stack. But other than that, what do you have, Dowd? I mean, there's not a lot around him. James Conner would be like, because he's my ride or die, and I loved him from Pittsburgh, and he's still fantasy relevant. And he had that how many crazy touchdown season just a couple ago. I love James Conner, but Kyler Murray's just it's too inconsistent, and I don't know. It doesn't show me anything that I have anything to do with as far as my fantasy team.
I mean, but if you're looking at Kyler Murray, right, you probably don't have much else. Are you
for dynasty purposes and deep leagues? I mean, you might
yeah.
be in that situation. But right now, with guys like freaking Dalton and Darnold, and I mean, there's guys to pick up right now, and you can look around. And either way, I mean, don't
Huntley.
wait
How'd
now.
Huntley do?
If you're thinking about trading guys like that, don't hesitate and do it later. Do it now because his stock is going to do nothing but go down if he continues on this path.
In redraft, I would say if he's your QB1, I would be, after this game, try to see if you can trade him for Jaden Daniels 1-for-1.
Nice.
And
I
you
don't
never
think
know.
we'll
You
take
never know.
momentum,
I
but
would potentially see if you could upgrade at the position. I'm not panicking him on at all, but if you don't
see, Mike is
like him
somebody
right
that
now,
I know bought into a lot of Murray. I was wondering what he would think.
I personally would hold on to him. I have him as my QB2 everywhere where I draft him. He's my backup plan. But speaking for Pristine on if this is your QB1 situation, I would be spending my waiver fab this week on getting one of those options like a Dalton or somebody as my quarterback 2 for cheap, just to see if these performances continue to happen with Murray. I don't think by any means this is a trend or it's likely to stay consistent with him. He didn't have Trey McBride this week, which is a good safety blanket that he likes to use a lot of the time. And it just I think the Commanders just smacked him in the mouth, and Cardinals didn't have a response. They didn't have an answer for the Commanders. So I wouldn't be like on a scale from 1 to 10. I'm probably at a 3 or a 4 with panic level with Kyler because I've seen this before where he does this consistency play. But when he's hot, he's worth having in your lineup. I mean, I think your best option, what you could do in a redraft right now, is just go try to get a Darnold or a Dalton on your waiver wire with your fab this week to have as a backup plan if this continues. And Dynasty, I would try to flip them for a younger quarterback asset if you don't want to keep continuing to deal with the inconsistencies. Try to package them up to get an upgrade at quarterback or another position and try to rely on another quarterback week to week that is more of like not as high as ceiling, but more of consistency stream of points coming in.
Okay. Yeah. And, Mike has a point too, but, there's maturity to be had in that situation. But Kyler has shown that he has a chemistry, not an amazing one, but a chemistry, an existing relationship between him and Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, there was a 30-point week there that we can't overlook, and there was another one in the high teens. So you can't overlook those weeks as just like crazy flukes because Kyler Murray is a very talented quarterback. Now, I look at him more as fantasy relevant because he usually can get it done on his legs. But, I mean, the seasons are passing. He's coming off injury. He's got a first-round draft pick as, his number one wide receiver. If they work on that relationship and they refine that, then, the potential is limitless. But, there's a lot of other things that have to happen on that team for that to all fall into place.
Cool. So, that is very true on Kyler Murray. I mean, it depends on where you are and what league you're in. But as you guys said, times are passing. Yo. So, Mike, thanks for chiming in. Thank you guys for chiming in. So far, let me see. Pristine, thank you for commenting.
Yeah, that was a good question, Pristine.
Yeah, those are some great questions. Yeah. Keep them coming, Mike. Thanks for you guys.
This
for
game
watching. Finally getting in
hot
on it.
Garbage.
This game is crazy. So, hey,
I love it.
So we're gonna jump into I'm gonna jump into a break really quick. Show you guys the Shady Sports promo.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. We got that. We'll get the Cash App one back. I'll probably play that tonight too. It's still great. But we'll get those. We'll get that promo on the other side. We got some more segments, man. We got Shawnee's who's winning your week, who sucks. We'll see how it played out, how it looks, and then we got Justin. We got your team of the week. So we'll take a look at those players on the other side. But we'll also go. We'll touch on this Buffalo Ravens game. We'll touch on the Pittsburgh Colts game, and then we'll touch on the Broncos and Jets game as well. And then also preview that Lions game. So
getting ready for them Lions.
Get ready for them Lions. So let me get this going, and we'll catch you guys on the other side.
Hell yeah.
Yo! Oh, look like we lost one. Shawnee's somewhere. He'll hopefully come back. Yeah. I was gonna say, Shawnee, we're doing your segment. You don't even want to do it. I get it. It's cool.
He's out.
He's out. Done.
Popped up.
No, only one of us can call it quits on fantasy this week.
All right, so we got some questions real quick, and then we'll jump into Shawnee's weekly winners. So
I think you'll be fine, Pristine. I would do that.
I would take that trade right now. I mean, if you can do it right now, I would just do it. He said,
I believe in Jaden now. I think what he's shown these last 2 weeks against good offenses, good teams. I mean,
yes is the answer.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the correct answer there.
But even if the trade doesn't happen, the guy doesn't take it, I think you'll be fine with Murley once McBride comes back. They get more chemistry together with Harrison. I mean, it's only week 4. Got at least 12 more weeks of the fantasy season. I think it'll get better before it gets worse.
Yeah.
Even if you see a dip in Jaden Daniels, productivity, whatever, his ceiling and his floor are still going to go above and beyond what Kyler's floor and ceiling have been and will be. So,
and they are.
I just think that Kyler needs to start using his legs again. I think that he's got to start running more.
That's the easiest answer. Easiest. Trust him what he's good at. Absolutely.
Breezy. So Breezy says, Jets offense is selling me. I invested in them everywhere.
I did.
I don't know why you would. Why would you?
Well, I mean, what aspect of that offense?
Yeah, what are you looking at?
Preach it, Sad. Tell him.
Jets suck. Look at this. So we got Shawnee's segment. New segment's coming. I could only get a few graphics going because, I mean, if you're out there, you do graphic design, hit me up. I could definitely use someone. But
we could use the help, please. We love your talent and your expertise. If you'd like to,
please let me know if you like sports and you do graphic design. You can do design stuff. Please, I would love to have.
And if you like fantasy football, I can get you on the show too.
Ladies and gentlemen, who's winning you your week? And
we'll start with the QBs and see how it went. So we got Josh Allen,
who is proving to me right now the first week out of any week of the season that he's dipping. He can have a second second half comeback for the ages, though. That's absolutely true. But these are 4 guys who have consistently in the last 4 weeks gotten you points that have been decision making in winning your week.
I don't even know why I got Darnold faded in. He should be the most prominent one on here, I feel like.
That's on you, Seth. I don't know what you're doing over there.
He dipped 1 week, but that's okay. He's still that guy. Can you kill that freaking alarm?
Kill what? What's going on?
The alarm thing is still going off.
Oh, no alarm, Shiny. I think you just got a delay on your phone. Do you hear an alarm, Justin?
No.
Are your ears ringing, Shiny?
No, dude, it's going.
Oh, man. Do you sure someone's alarm clock isn't going off? It's time to wake up. Wake up with fantasy football reports, guys. Thanks for chiming in. All right, so we got these quarterbacks. Go back to it. I don't know where the alarm is, Shawnee, honestly, but don't have one playing right now. So, all right, let's look at them and see. So, yeah, I mean, currently Josh Allen's playing right now, so we can see how he's doing in real time. I think they're in halftime right now, right?
Yeah, worst week
they're in
so
halftime.
far. He can't get anything going. It's been hard to watch. But Jalen Hurts is a guy who has proven that he's going to get you high 20s in the low 30s, and when he hasn't been able to get it done through the air, he's still been scoring touchdowns himself. The points speak for themselves, and the same thing goes with Lamar. He's been getting it done through the air. Derrick Henry has been a huge asset. He's proven it right now. They're whooping up on Buffalo. I think it's 21-3 at the half. So, and I mean, Sam Darnold, we already touched on Minnesota and what they're doing over there. Not only is Jay Jettas getting his, but now Addison is getting his, and Aaron Jones has been eating. I mean, the whole offense is fantasy relevant and killing it, and they're continuing to go for it week after week. I mean, the fact that defense let a lead go, I think a lot of that had to do with play call, like Justin said. But all in on all four of these guys. Set it and forget it starters, QB1s every week. The most consistent and highest scoring.
Mike said he hears nothing as well too, Shawnee. You're just chasing stories.
Wow.
Oh, just all us chasing stories. That's what we do, bro. Hey, everybody's just chasing stories. Justin, what do you feel about this list, though?
As far as tonight goes, I think Lamar is outperforming Josh Allen.
It
clearly,
ain't over yet. It's halftime.
I'm confident by the end of the night, Lamar will be better fantasy performance than Josh Allen.
Okay.
By the end of the night. Jalen Hurts, I haven't caught any Eagles games at all. I'm kind of worried that his wide receiver room is thinning out. I mean, Goddard's saving him a lot of the time with his performances. And regardless, though, he's a consistent fantasy producer. He's doing well, and he's doing good for you from what I'm seeing on, like, box scores and whatnot. I'm not actually watching him play other than the first game of the year, which he looked pretty good. So he's good on that list. And then for Darnold, I mean, these are I think Darnold is doing everything you could have asked of a guy in the situation he's in. This is the best case scenario. It's not the ceiling. I think he could get better. I think it's, as this offense keeps humming and that offense keeps rolling and keeps scoring points, he's going to keep doing well. The offensive line is protecting him. Aaron Jones is pass blocking for him, giving him time. So, I mean, the world's his oyster if he keeps playing the way he does.
Look, you got some company there, Justin, with your misery from earlier.
Hey, Michael, I'm with you, man. Just come ride with me on the 0-4 train. All we got is donuts over here. We got no life preservers. We got no safety nets. We're just out here in the L's Ocean with all the seagulls pecking at us. It's cool. You're not alone.
Speaking of that, Justin, you had your assembled lineup for week 4.
Yeah.
You had Josh Allen as your quarterback. What made you go in that direction?
Because I feel like he was going to have another superhuman performance tonight and do his traditional put on the cape and be all that he can be against these Ravens. But he might have, pardon my French, but he might have blown his load last week on the Jaguars. So, yeah, that's a little bit rough. But yeah, as you said, it's only one half of football play. But from what I see, unless there's a drastic change in the locker room, I think it is going to be a lot of reckless hero ball, which could lead to interceptions, maybe a fumble or taking dumb sacks. Like, I think the way this game is trending, if they ice it with Derrick Henry, which I think they should do, what the Vikings should have done with Aaron Jones and Ty Chandler, just put the game on ice and put this team away. I don't think Josh Allen will have plenty of opportunities to make a comeback this game if the Ravens play this right.
Okay, so we'll move on. We got your running back, Shawnee. We got your running backs of the week. You got Saquon Barkley, James Cook, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Breece Hall. So we saw Breece Hall, James Cook, and Saquon Barkley today.
Well, Cook is playing right now.
Oh, well, Cook's playing right now.
Aspect of that offense that's gotten going so far. But these are all guys who have consistently been set it and forget it starters. Every week they've been 20-plus points. And if you've had them in your starting lineup, they have done nothing but help you win your week. And if you
Mm-hmm.
have for some reason lost with them, then
I know what
you're
L's
messing
are.
up
I like
somewhere else in your
Eagles.
lineup. And now after this week with a solid performance, I want to go ahead and add Aaron Jones to this list.
Yes, man, I
Okay.
need to get a sombrero.
Okay.
And I mean, B-Rob and B-Rob Jr., I'm going to give honorable mentions because even though Bijan
Definitely.
Robinson hasn't had the ceiling we want to see, it's still been consistent in the teens,
Yeah.
which is, something that's going to help you rather than hurt you. And now, after Brian Robinson Jr. had another 18-point game this week, I think he's going to finish out as probably RB6 in fantasy after the end of this week now. So, these are all guys that are in the top 10. They're set it and forget it starters. And here we go. Josh
Oh, no.
Allen isn't going to score him no more points. Man, he's
I
definitely
think he will. They'll be
capable of coming back in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, if the Ravens put up a couple more touchdowns, he'll put up points, but I don't think he'll put up enough monster points that compare it to week 3 or week 2.
Yeah, he's
those
not going to
30,
have
40
30
points.
plus, but he
Yeah,
can have
yeah.
a relevant game still.
Yeah,
Sure.
he just won't be probably saving your fantasy team if you're in a hole right now.
Yeah, you're not going to get that Monday Night Miracle like you did last week.
Yeah. Oh, what's
I wasn't
winning?
gonna post
Someone
this
tell
one,
me.
but yeah, it's delusional.
Yeah, we're looking like we're going to win in our foosball league, Sad and
Oh,
Mike. And
man.
Mike, I am also beating you in Dynasty right now by an
I don't know. I'm
amount of
pretty neck and
points.
neck with Chris. His team is Derrick Henry, man. I'm over it.
And anybody who doubted King Henry before the season started, shame.
Shame.
To the stocks with you. That's why he's King Henry.
I don't know. How could anybody have been down on, when you go from the Titans to the Ravens, when you were getting what you were getting done in Tennessee, how could anybody have doubted you?
The age, people think once their running back hits 27, they're toast, they're done. And it's like, that's not the case anymore. Sports medicine has advanced, like training regimes have advanced. These players are knowing how to keep themselves healthy and in shape longer, and they can play longer in this league if they're good. And Henry's proven he's good. So he's going to be here for a while. I can see at least 3-4 more years out of him.
Lamar. So
what'd you do?
Are you saying Henry should have been on your list there, Shawnee? Or if you could do it again, you would have had King Henry on there?
What?
On your running back? Who's winning your week?
Oh, okay.
Who are you asking should be on it?
If King Henry, Derrick Henry.
Well, these are all guys who haven't dipped below like the teens, and I think King Henry had a week where he had I think it was only I don't know, it was lower than 10.
It was lower than 10.
Who have not had a dip in any week in the first 3. They've all been consistently 20 or higher, or honorable mentions, double digits or higher. And I think Henry has had 2 out of 3 good weeks, but he had a week that he was bust.
Okay. So, and then Justin, on your assembled lineup for the week, your team of the week, you had Aaron Jones and James Conner. What are your thoughts looking back?
I nailed it with Jones. I mean, stay with my champion. He did what I thought. I think he could have done more, but he did honorable in what he did with that team, managing the game. He was catching the ball too out of the backfield. He was playing his role excellently, and he got, the chains moving. He really had a hold on the snap share over Ty Chandler. I thought I was going to get worried that maybe they were trying to implement Ty Chandler a little bit more in this game, but he's shown that he's the starter there. He's the running back one there, and that he can carry the workload as long as he stays healthy from start to finish of a game.
Yep. Yeah, you don't have to worry about Jones. Jones is set it, forget it going forward. Now, Connor, on the other hand, as much as I like to have faith in the guy, I talked about him earlier, how much I love him and have faith in him. I know a couple of guys that have him in many leagues and depend on him. like I said, he's usually the goal line guy. He's scoring touchdowns. He's going to have boom bust weeks. That's just all there is to it. It's
Yeah,
Arizona.
I
That's
was
what they
really
do.
believing in him this week, thinking that with McBride out, that Murray would use him a little bit more in the passing game as a security blanket, giving him more opportunities. But I don't think the play calling was in his favor this week. The game
No.
script got out of hand, and I whiffed. I mean, whoops.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get, all right. So, all right, cool. So we'll move forward. We'll keep it going. So we got these wide receivers, y'all.
Oh my God, man! Justin Jefferson is unreal. He's made it clear that it's not just his offense, but I mean that whole Minnesota offense is just like they're on top right now. They're living the dream. Chris Godwin has been hands down Baker Mayfield's guy. He's been a bailout. He's been killing it every week. He was wide receiver 1 in fantasy at one point. Now I think he's dropped back to 3 with the changing of the guard over the last week. I think we saw today why Nico Collins is set it and forget it. Wide receiver 1 there in Houston. He's huge, sure hands, big body guy. I mean, yards after catch, touchdowns. I hit over 30 fantasy points today. Yeah. Rashee Rice unfortunately crashed on this list. It's unfortunate to see that happen to guys, but when you are performing at a level that these guys are performing, they're professional athletes. They try and take care of their bodies as best they can, but I mean, these guys are out to hurt each other. This is still the game of football we're dealing with. I know that this fantasy game is something we have fun with, but we're dealing with real people in real lives, and it sucks to see someone go down with injury, especially when it affects your roster. But we'll wait for the MRI to come through, and we'll wait for a time frame, and we'll see if maybe we can get Rice back in the mix at some point this season. If not, he'll be relevant next. Like Justin said, you're going to keep on your dynasty squad for sure.
Yeah.
What I think too of the play is like it was really boneheaded what happened. Like if you're Patrick Mahomes, you got 4 or 5 linemen in that pile. Why are you diving in there to try to make a play, thinking you have a chance at getting this ball, and then putting your body at risk and ultimately taking out your number 1 wide receiver by just blowing out his leg? You saw him coming. Yeah. You still dove on that pile, and Rashee couldn't get out of the way. Like it was just stupid. Like it was one of those
when you're
injury
in
bug
that
plays.
Situation as a professional, you make
9 times out of 10 when you see the ball hit the ground, you see your quarterbacks just hands on their hips, standing and watching the play. Like I understand Mahomes being a team player, trying to be like.
I didn't see it, so I can't really.
What happened was
Allen just threw a 53-yard.
Yeah, did you see that pass? That was a great pass that he threw.
That was a Madden throw.
That was a Madden throw. He just tossed that out there.
With the play, what happened is the Mahomes threw an interception, so he's probably frustrated. The defender came running down the field. Rashee Rice popped the ball out, and the ball's on the ground. You see everyone start diving for it. Mahomes comes running up and dives in it like head first, and Rashee is right there on top of the ball in the pile, and his helmet just comes right at Rashee's knee and just blows him up. It was the whole time I was watching. I'm just like, why, dude?
That's like a McFadden Chubb hit. That's how McFadden's helmet did Chubb dirty last season.
Yeah, I mean it's unfortunate. It sucks that Rashee got hurt, whatever. But like, if you're watching Phil Mahomes going in, you just don't. You threw the interception, eat it. But like, throwing your body into a pile like that when you're the star quarterback, risking yourself being injured, and then ultimately what it did is you potentially knocked out your star wide receiver for the year. I mean, it sucks.
Yeah, poor decision making is just it's a reason I get mad when I see these guys do stuff like you're talking about, like Allen not sliding and like going and like Tua not sliding and going for extra yards and then going head first into a defender. Like these guys train to slide. That's what like that's what you practice. And then all of a sudden in great game script, it's like you forget and you want to get this extra 2 yards, but then it costs you your season. It's like, I don't know. You'd think they'd be smarter, but I get it, man. This is a competitive game. These guys, it's their life. It's what they live and dream to do, and they want to get that extra couple yards, and they sacrifice their body to do it. And sometimes it ends up like this, and sometimes it ends up to their benefit. This is just one of those situations that's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to see if I can find it.
But Godwin, by far, with how many seasons into the league is this man? How long has he proven he can do it? Especially with Evans by his side, and he's still putting up these numbers and being Baker's guy. For them to go out there and do what they did today, to pull that win out, and to beat that team against that defense, that just proves right then and there's no fluke about it. There's no, Denver came back and showed those guys what the hell, and that made me think to myself, like, oh man, maybe this is like, but no, if you go out and do that against Philly, like, come on now. Godwin is
I
by
think
far my
Godwin is an
standout.
excellent floor play going forward. Like,
Yeah,
he's a
he's
set
my
it, forget it wide
standout.
receiver too. If you have a good wide receiver room, he's certainly just your set and forget it flex. You don't need to move that around. Like just play the man. Don't worry about it. He's gonna eat. He's gonna work out of the slot.
Absolutely.
And he's going to produce for you. That's where he started early on in his career in the slot, and he feasted with Tom Brady. And now the Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield are figuring out with him in the slot again and just doing the same, replicating the same game plan that Tom Brady did with him when he was there in the slot. Just keep feeding the targets for him and then catch the defense sleeping with a Mike Evans. But, like, volume is king, and right now, like, Mike Evans is keeping it consistent too with the big plays or whatnot. But like, I feel safer having Chris Godwin getting 6-7 receptions for 80 some odd yards than I do even with like a touchdown and like whatnot with Evans.
He's pretty much a tutty, lock weekly. I mean, if there's somebody that you can bet on a weekly touchdown for, if you're going on DraftKings, if you're not going Godwin's way, then there's something wrong with the way you think.
Yeah.
And now, with the way that backfield is shaking out, also with, White and Irving both coming off injuries, having semi-decent days both, but now they're kind of figuring out how they want to reconfigure that backfield. That does nothing but help the wide receiver situation.
Mm-hmm.
Irving definitely had the higher snap count today, which shows that White might be falling back and regressing a little bit. And I don't know how much Irving was involved in the passing game, but I mean, it's obvious that, even against a solid defense, these guys are going to do it week after week, and it's consistent,
Yeah, I invested a lot of White in drafts, and I invested in a lot of Irving in the waiver wire this week. I got him everywhere I went after him in. And what I've been seeing from the snap shares is with injuries accounted for, because White was sick and Irvin had a hamstring injury. I think where we can see the Buccaneers backfield going forward is with the snap share. Rachaad White's going to be the passing down back, for sure the third down back to be Baker's safety blanket on those play action RPO plays. And Irvin is going to take more of the running between the tackles work in that offense. It's slowly going to turn that way. Right now it's like 50-50. By next week, we should probably see 60-40, 70-30. That doesn't mean panic on Rachaad White. I'm not. No. I have both running backs. It's just the way, depending on game script and game flow and how they had the Eagles pretty much dead to rights all game, allowed them to have Irving play more and let Rachaad White take a back seat, stay healthier, and just do the necessity stuff. They had more of a luxury today. Like, I'm worried about that Eagles offense. Their wide receiver room needs to get healthy. And
absolutely,
because Goddard alone is not helping that offense. They need their wide receivers to step up.
To be on that list of mine, because he was just that dominant 20+ until he went out. He was helping me every week in 2 leagues. But as far as Tampa Bay goes, I actually only had White in Dynasty, and I ended up trading him last week. But that's only because I was able to get Mason and Dobbins. And I think for the value, I mean, Mason and Dobbins for White, I just don't think that I could have gone wrong there. So I'm happy I did it. And I mean, this week it obviously helped me out. Too. Mason had a really great game. I started him as my RB2. And yeah, as far as the weekly winners goes, that's pretty much where we're at. The tight ends, I didn't have too much to say about, because there's not too many to talk about. Consistently, Bowers and Goddard have been it. Goddard's been setting records, doing well, 170-yard games. They've had above and beyond scores compared to the rest of these guys. But, if you look at the board, tight end 5, tight end 9, these guys are all having week 1, 5 points, week 2, 8 points, week 3, 2.10 points, and they're still in the top 10 of tight ends. So that just goes to show you how horrible the tight end room is right now. Hopefully we can watch that improve over the next couple of weeks. You can probably put Pitts on that list as an honorable mention because he's been a fairly relevant guy. But with Cousins as your QB and the inconsistency in the coaching and the schemes, and we don't know who's going to score the points there, if it's going to be London or Bijan or anybody in that Atlanta offense, I just really don't feel comfortable, caring enough to put Pitts on there other than just a couple of weeks. He had some decent stuff going on, but now Kelsey had a decent week, but that doesn't make up for the fact that he's been absolute dog shit every other week and helped you out none. And, Laporta being hurt hasn't done anything. McBride has been nothing but mediocre. Mayer's out, and Bowers obviously stepped up in that situation. Hunter Henry, mediocre. I could go down the list, and that's the word you're going to hear consistently throughout for any of the starters. Some guys have had a good week here and there, but it hasn't been anything higher than 10, 12, 15 points other than Bowers and Goddard up in the 20s here on those couple, and that's it. So moving on from that situation, because I know everybody's got a sour taste in their mouth when it comes to tight end right now.
All right, cool. So tight ends. Justin, did you have anything to speak on the tight ends? I knew you picked Brock Bowers.
I think after this week, granted the situation now up in Green Bay with Watson likely to miss a lot of time, and we touched on him earlier, I think if you can go get Tucker Kraft, that would be a good acquisition to add to your lineups as a security blanket.
Absolutely.
As your tight end too, at the very least, in case if these tight ends keep pooping their pants and not performing. At worst, he's going to be a floor play because it looks like Love is throwing him the ball more than Musgraves. I think Musgraves is second fiddle. He's the more pass blocker. He's the more route runner. He's just the fluff. And Tucker Kraft is the guy that Love is trusting with catching and making receptions for him and bailing him out of broken plays. So if you continue to get frustrated with these Kelce's, the Kincaid, Likely, Andrews, all these other guys that you invested high on that aren't performing, I would say for the tight ends after this week so far, I know we still have 2 more games after tonight's. I think Tucker Kraft is a safe, not necessarily buy low, because if some people are wise and onto it, or particular fans of the Packers, they might be investing in him, but definitely go after him if he's available after this week.
I think Kraft is available in something like 70% of leagues.
Yeah. And with Watson going down and likely going to be in and out of the lineup and not really around, I think Love will need to use the tight ends more as a safety blanket.
All right, cool. So, hey, I want to throw up real quick. Let's check into this game. I'm gonna throw up this Cash App promo real quick and get that going. And then when we come back, so Justin, you had your
we gonna get into the suck.
What was your player of the week? I guess you could say was Scary Terry McLaurin. So I want to touch in on that when we come back from this. So I'm gonna throw this Cash App, guys. If you don't use Cash App, use it. You can get $5. $5 goes towards the network as well. So we'll be right back.
I got mine.
How are you? Bring them things. I call the plug. Bring them things. I bring them things.
Grab That's money. That's cash out.
Yeah. So yeah. Hold on. Let me see. What did you call it? Your dreamer of the week?
Streamer of the week?
No. Your believe it or not performance pick.
Yeah, that's exactly what I came up with. Believe it or not.
Yeah. Tuesday we'll have the graphic up. I'm gonna bust my. I'll get it up. Yeah, your believe it or not player of the week was Scary Terry McLaurin. And he wasn't as good as last week, but he still kept it up, and he still showed why there's cause for it. So I mean, I'll let you talk.
What was his stat line from this week? Because I didn't watch the game.
So he had 7 receptions for 52 yards
He
and
had
a tutty.
18.2 fantasy points.
And
18.2 or 18.6, I think.
And PPR.
When I mentioned when I put him on at my believe it or not, it was more so the floor play than the ceiling play, because I know that Jaden Daniels still needs to develop more, get more comfortable with him, to have the ability to bust off those big bomb, nice, crazy plays that you saw last week. But the rest of the season, I'm believing it than not. I'm calling it like he is a safe floor play. You're going to get your 7-8 receptions.
Strip fumble.
And you're going to
fumble. Ravens got the ball.
And you're going to be happy with where you drafted Scary Terry, that he's going to perform well enough to move him into your starting lineups more consistently week in and week out.
100% agree.
There we go.
That was my take in the context behind it, because I rewatched the film on last week's game with Jaden Daniels and where he was looking, how he's looking. He's got eyes for McLaurin. That's his alpha in that offense right now. And if they keep going up the way they're looking, it's trending, and the way it's consistently getting better and better. I mean, they're going to have down weeks. They're going to have playing harder defenses and whatnot, but I'm believing it. I'm comfortable with firing up Scary Terry, trading for him, acquire him where I can, because he's finally got a quarterback to help
the
back
talent
up.
Has been there for seasons, but yes, finally he's got the guy that can get. And I mean, that touchdown pass at the end of the Bengals game, where he hit him for that toe tapper before he went out of bounds, was a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
It was so great to see him get that opportunity.
Can we show that play again? Because that was beautiful.
Let me see.
Not to make you do something, I'm playing it in my head, and it doesn't look as good in my head as it was. that pass was, and I read afterwards they were talking about how Terry was calling for that play from Coach, and Coach was like, "All right, Jaden, he's asking for it. Do it up," and they fired that play up, and it worked.
And that was it. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when two guys with God-given ability, take advantage of an opportunity. I mean, that was even in amazing coverage. Amazing coverage. He was on him like fucking white on rice, right at the line. And Terry just did what he does. McLaurin did what he does, and Daniels that just puts another feather in his cap when it comes to the talent that he has. Because you look at a guy like that and what he's doing, and they're giving him praise for the fact that he's making good decisions and that he's getting it done on his feet. And but to be able to make a play like that and in the time that he did, and for them to call it, the smart play calling behind it, I don't know. It's just refreshing to see out of Washington, and it's good to see, this happen with that young man. I think he deserves it. And Terry, if anybody deserves it, it's McLaurin, because, I mean, cool, all the homies, all the analysts, everybody I talked to, they've all been high on McLaurin since he entered the league. And, yeah, he's had some boom bust, in between. He's been a guy that's been drafted. But it's been a steady downfall over the last several seasons, and just to see this has been awesome. So that's a really good weekly, believe it or not, Justin. I really like that one a lot, bro. I really
Where
do.
you guys at it was said too? Are you believing in the offense for this Washington and believing in Terry McLaurin going forward, or are you not sold yet on it? Quite, you need to see more bigger performances.
He's
I've
my
been
flex.
rocking with.
I'll lock him in the flex any day of the week.
Yeah. I would definitely, especially the way it's been looking with receivers. I am rocking with Terry
because I'm happy if I'm
D-Rob.
getting him in my flex for 7-8 catches. There's 7-8 points right there, and if he gets like I don't know, 80, 90, 100 yards with that, I'll take close to 20 points. I mean, I'm not scared off by if he doesn't get in the touchdowns. Touchdowns is a cherry on top at this point. Like the fact that out of my flex spot, at the very least, wide receiver 2. He's getting me 15 to 20 points without a touchdown is incredible.
6 for $100, 7 for 120. I mean, that is not out of the realm of a game, a weekly thing. Yeah, for sure. Tutties, like you said, just the cherry on top. Man, I don't know. Allen is on the sideline wincing. That strip sack took over, gave Baltimore the game back, and now they are on the Bills 25. Charging for the end zone with the score of, oh my God, dude, Justice Hill is the truth.
What does he have, like almost 20 points?
He just turned a negative yardage play into a 20-yard run.
He's the lightning to Henry's thunder in this offense. I invested in Justice Hill heavily on my bench.
Henry just got taken down for like a 4-yard loss right before they brought Hill in. And then, watch this play. Unreal. Stiff arm. Spin move.
I think Justice Hill going forward is a good bench stash, especially with all these injuries creeping up, because he's getting volume in the passing game. Lamar trusts him coming out of the backfield.
Oh, Lamar just ran it in. Thank you, Lamar.
Who's winning your week? Brought to you by Seany.
I like the points.
I got this. So I got this. I think I got the play.
So what's Sed's God mode lineup of like? How's your fantasy teams doing? Are you still perfect? You're unblemished. You just can't lose.
I'm almost there, man.
That's cool. You can share some W's too, man. I mean, I'm starving over here.
For Rashee Rice.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Okay. Like Mahomes just stopped. Dude.
Oh, they didn't really. I think they're gonna show it on the replay.
You have to slow it down. Look at this.
Okay,
there's Rashee. He makes the play, and then doink.
Oh no! He ran into Mahomes' back.
Yeah. Mahomes should have not been in that play.
Yeah, he should He shouldn't have chased down the play. He wasn't going to get the ball. He's probably frustrated that he threw the interception.
Afternoon, not even prime time or anything. That was a dumbass play to chase.
That was the first quarter. It was the second drive. Like, there's still a whole game to go, and you're throwing your body on a play. You're not getting. If you look back at it, there's four linemen. They're like they got 150 pounds on the man. He's not going to get the ball out of that pile.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah,
for
so
a couple people on the offense or on the Chiefs offense. Yeah.
And I can't believe Rashee Rice. He made the play. He popped the ball up, and then he looks down, and then he sees Mahomes there, and he can't get out of the way.
Yeah. That was unfortunate, for sure.
That was unfortunate.
Well, we all can't be as perfect as said in fantasy, you know?
I don't know what's happening. It's just right now. Trust me. Later on in the season, I'm going to be crying because my teams aren't doing it. So,
I don't know. I heard you calling for ships at the beginning of the preseason.
I'm about to lose today to Chris, man. Like,
what?
Very, very close. Yeah.
You're not going to lose to Chris. Who does he have that's balling right now?
Derrick Henry.
Oh, shit. You about to get King Henry. Shame.
Huh?
Shame.
Yeah. No, we'll
give
see.
you that L.
I just didn't have a tight end, man. I don't know why I went with Cole Kmet because I picked up I guess
I thought you had Laporta everywhere.
No, not in this one, bro.
Everybody has tight end commitment issues right now.
That's my weak link, though, I guess, so.
Go get Tucker Kraft this week, bud.
Yeah, go pick up Crafty. Get crafty with it, bud.
He's not gonna do good this week. All
Kraft
right.
and cheese.
So let's touch on let's talk about this Pittsburgh Colts game.
Well, Richardson's out with a hip. That's an owie, but Pittman finally became relevant today.
The dude does not know how to protect his body when he's running the ball. Like,
no, I mean,
that was my biggest
makes
fear.
A lot of poor decisions. That's what it comes down to.
That was my
He
biggest
didn't play a whole lot of
investing.
football.
Huh?
He didn't play a whole lot of football coming into the NFL.
It just, I mean, he's got an injury history, and he was just running recklessly. Like, I get it, it's football, it's a hard it is what it is, but like, he isn't learning anything. He's just running recklessly, and people are blowing him up, and he took a bad hit today, and it knocked him out of the game. And Joe Flacco, to his respect, made Michael Pittman relevant again. Like,
yeah,
he had a good game.
You know, it's ridiculous too, because this goes along with it. The man can hit somebody perfectly in the breadbasket for 56 yards, but then he can't throw a simple slant. You know,
it blows my mind.
I don't know.
And that's what made me nervous about investing in him.
Came in and did last season for the Ravens. I mean, if
he's about
Flacco's
to
the
do
man
it with the Colts this year. Like, if I'm Christine, go out and invest in Flacco today at the other games. Put a couple bucks on the fab and have him as your quarterback. I'm not mad at it, but
I don't know. Justin Fields looked okay again. Freiermuth had a great game. He had almost 17 fantasy points. Pickens had, I think it was like, I don't know, 8 for 110, 19.
7 for 113.
Oh, great. Jonathan Taylor had another great game for me today, and he's coming in on the injury report with a high ankle sprain.
Who? Wait,
Jonathan Taylor.
How did I miss? Hold on.
Oh, Colts got injured today. But to answer your comment, Michael, I'm in the same strategy mode. I have White and Bucky both, and I'm fielding offers on both of them. So that is a good way to play that backfield right now.
Yeah, Mike's talking about, I'm going to be starting White and Irving both. I should try to trade one of them. Damn, hope someone's willing to buy White. I just sold White. My stock on White is down.
I think they should. Like, the Jonathan Taylor owner now has got question marks because you don't know his status going into next week. Might throw you a couple offers out there. That would be Trey Sermon is his backup.
He had 5 carries for 8 yards.
Oh,
Sermon?
Boy.
Yeah.
He did some good things in San Francisco, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. And they also have the rookie they drafted, Eric Hall. So we'll see how that backfield plays out.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
they have Tyler Goodson, too.
Okay. Now that sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm.
We got a 25-yard pass from Allen to Kincaid. We're back in the mix.
No, they're not. They're down by 18 points.
It's a bunch of empty calories.
I eat them up.
Hey, for your tight end position, I'm jumping for joy for that. I will take
Kincaid
30
had
yards.
a good week last week, and I mean, obviously, the week that Allen had, I was down to Ced by like 80 points, and I came within 9 points.
Within. You heard that, Justin, right?
With Allen, Kincaid.
Hey, I was in that same scenario in all my leagues last week. I was down by like 60-plus points, and I came back and lost by maybe 10, 9. And I was like, cool. If I didn't have the one injury happen where I got basically a goose egg, I probably would have had this week.
Yeah.
Now, how does that work, though? Is that still a loss, or is it like an asterisk?
It's still an L. It's all over my forehead like an egg.
I love it. You know, Ced has kind of struggled in our league for the past couple seasons.
Exactly.
And now he's like our top scorer almost.
Yeah,
weekly,
I've been studying.
Doing really good. So
I'm not the top scorer.
Let the boy have his moment and talk his shit because I'm
I'm not the top scorer. Hold on.
You're one of the highest scorers.
Mike is a top scorer.
You are one of the highest
eat it up while you can. If you've been sitting in the cellar for the longest time in fantasy, like I was on the opposite effect. Like I'm used to going to the championship game and losing or winning. Like I've made the playoffs every year for the longest time, and now I'm finally on the other end of that spectrum where I'm bottoming out, and I don't know what this feels like. So I'm trying to just figure it out.
For me, it was kind of.
I'm about to be 1-3 in my dynasty league, so I'm not, it's not.
I'm about to win a dynasty against Mike. Dude, he lost to Luakon and Singleton, dude. That was his bread and butter on
Oh,
defense.
I did
That's
have
how
an
he was
IDP
smoking
of the
everybody.
week too.
Oh, the sack. Oh, get him. Yeah. Whoa.
I didn't know if you-
Throw it. Get rid of it, dumbass.
No.
Because I don't know if you guys care about that for
That was a
our
sack.
talks
Yes,
or whatever.
sir. Huh?
Care about what, Justin?
What?
IDPs. I did have an IDP I picked.
Yeah, I saw
the
that.
week.
You had hold on, let me bring it up. Mike.
Kendricks.
Hold on.
Well, I thought with it that it was going to be a better game for that
Henley?
player, but it turns out that the Jaguars decided to learn how to play football again.
Where is your IDP? Daniel Hunter?
Yes.
Let's see what Daniel
Hunter.
Yeah.
Daniel Hunter.
I thought he was going to bounce back after getting his crap kicked in with the Vikings.
Yeah,
that
he
he'd
had
be
a
like,
bad
play.
couple first weeks. Our commissioner in Dynasty has him. He's good. But
I don't know
see
how
what
he
he
did this week. How
7
did he end up
points.
doing?
7 points. He had 1 hit on the quarterback, 2 tackles, 2 assisted tackles.
Damn. Well, I whiffed on that one, but I was just hoping to take advantage of the Jaguars' offense and Trevor Lawrence playing like dog crap. So I thought he'd come back, at least get a couple sacks and passes deflected and play a little bit more angrier, but turns out that wasn't the case. I'll do better next week.
So my IDP picks were
hey, man, we just appreciate you putting yourself out there like that, man. I mean, it's not very easy to make those picks and, to come up like that because
I don't know anything about
especially those IDP positions, dude. You'll look. Those guys don't even come in projected sometimes because
at all.
Even Sleeper
Sometimes
doesn't know how.
Yeah, they just come out of nowhere. They hit you. Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to. I just sit it and go and pray. Like I put in half New England's linebacker room. It worked out pretty okay, but it wasn't what I wanted.
So little how the sausage is made or behind the curtain.
Dude,
like when I'm watching
Spillane for Vegas and Kendricks for Dallas have been consistently murdering it for me this season.
They're dominating
and
the
Granderson
IDP landscape.
from New Orleans has been a killer on the defensive line. And then Alontae Taylor, this was his first week where he was less than 20, but as a DB, he's been like 40, 30, 40, and then this week was in the teens. But
here we go. I like this IDP talk.
IDP guy. He knows what he's doing, but I don't know, man. Zaire Franklin had a little less than
that wasn't good this week.
And he's normally way up there, but
I'm kind of high on Muma though. I feel like he could have
is good. I mean, any of those freaking Colts linebackers, anybody.
Well, they're so active and they're so fast and they react to the ball so quick that they just pile up and rack up tackles and assisted tackles. It helps pad the stats.
Yeah, and you know what? That's the best way. So anybody here who's new to IDP, I'm going to let you know what me and Mike tell everybody. If you're going to pick somebody up, pick them up based on the fact that you go into their game log and their snap count is 100%.
They're smashing.
That they are playing 100% of the game.
Thank you for mentioning that because it's not just performance alone. It's about their snap percentages, how long they're on the defensive side of the ball.
And think about how much they're going to be on the field. You know, are they on a team with an offense that's great, that the offense is going to be out there so much that they're not going to be relevant? Or are they playing a team with the great offense where the defense is going to be out there enough for them to make moves?
I mean, we all can't have Micah Parsons or TJ Watts, but
green dot.
I don't know.
So behind like the curtain, what I do, like when I'm watching like film at the end of the week and watching football and whatnot, I watch it once over to watch just the offense play, and then I'll rewatch the games as just watching the defensive side of the play and evaluating how the defensive players are playing each week. Because I'm in a lot of IDP leagues and whatnot, so I like do a lot of evaluating to like watching multiple games multiple times, once in a purview of like the offense, and the other side times I watch it defense, and it's a lot of homework, but I enjoy it.
I feel you.
Injuries have not helped either. There's been a lot of defensive player injuries, so there's been a lot of moving.
I bet you're so sick of saying that word.
Every year it's football, man.
No, it's not every year because, like I was saying, like I used to be like untouched by injuries. I was cruising into the playoffs. My lineups were pretty much, I was just I'm fine going. Like, I'm losing maybe a couple games a season. Now, this year it's the opposite. I'm getting slapped by the fantasy gods with the injury bug. I'm getting, curb stomped by the fantasy gods with close losses. It's just
breaking news. Jonathan Taylor has a high ankle sprain.
Oh, I just said that 15 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah, you did say that. You said he was out. You didn't say high ankle sprain.
I didn't hear high ankle sprain, but I heard
you said he was out, buddy. But good.
So
good
that's
job
at
on
least
that.
3 to 4 weeks.
I don't know. We'll have to check the diagnosis. We'll be waiting to hear on him and Rice.
Oh, my God.
Oof.
Get on your knees, boys. The king is doing work. Bow to your king. You watch this run?
Oh, look at this. Oh, man. Is this a touchdown? No. Oh, so close.
Yeah, but look at this man. This is what I was saying at the beginning of the season. This is how the
pray you don't
Ravens
cross
need
that
to win
goal
football
line.
games.
Man,
They get Lamar doing his business in the first half, and in the second half, give King Henry the ball. Let him lead you to victory.
Especially when you're in this big of a lead. I mean, there's no sense in throwing the ball and getting people hurt. If anything,
You know
I'd have
what,
Hill
though?
in there running it.
I'm only down by like 30 points, and I got Jamar Gibbs and Montgomery playing. So
You still got players left?
Yeah, I got 2.
Yeah, you're fine. Especially Gibbs and Montgomery.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a little whatever the saying goes about.
You see what I mean by those 2 are weekly winners, homie?
Mm-hmm.
And you got the double up.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. So with the last 3 meetings between the Seahawks and the Lions, the Achilles heel and the kryptonite to the Lions is they've been letting the Seahawks get time of possession, and they're just racking up air yards on them and letting them control
the edge in
the time of possession. They've won the last 3 meetings handedly. They just destroyed the Lions. This year, I'm confident. Tomorrow night, Dan Campbell, his game plan is to run and ground and pound that ball, control the clock, control this game script, control the time of possession. Let Goff manage it by getting his throws out to Amon-Ra and Laporta where it needs to be, not just willy-nilly loose play calling, and not letting the Seahawks offense constantly just run down the field and have their way with them so that the Lions are playing from behind or playing catch-up.
Charbonnet's looking good, too, out of the backfield as a pass catcher and a runner.
He's definitely a buy low candidate. I know Ken Walker is back, but Ken Walker has been susceptible to multiple injuries throughout a season. He's very injury prone.
Yo, I want to point out, I want to give King Henry his flowers, man. He's at 33 points right now. 16 carries for 181 yards, 1 touchdown.
They're about to give him the ball for this.
One receiver. He's about to get another rushing touchdown, and it's still like over 11 minutes left.
I think this is my punishment too. Is I was targeting him in every league this year, but I waited too long. Every round I thought I was going to go get him, he would get sniped before me.
Exact thing. I got him in a couple mocks, and so I thought I'd get him in the same place, but no, he went earlier.
Nope.
Hey guys, I got to jump off, but it was great. Another good week. I appreciate
Absolutely.
y'all. The girls are coming home from Breckenridge, so I got to get ready to get them to bed for school tomorrow. So I will catch y'all on the flip, and best of luck with the rest of your matchups. 2 matchups tomorrow to finish out the week for your Monday Night Miracles. Be sure to tune in on Tuesday, right?
Who are your picks? Sean?
Yeah, who are you taking? Tennessee and Dolphins and Lions and Seahawks.
Lions are going to flip the scripts on Seattle, finally. Okay. I just have too much faith in Gibbs and Montgomery, dude. And, Goff will get it up there to Amon-Ra, come back a little bit. Maybe if Laporta's healthy. And then, what's the other game again?
Tennessee and Miami.
Yeah, Tyler Huntley.
Oh, my God, dude. If Tyreek Hill does not get back going this week, I'm benching him. That's mark my words. But, hey, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Another great week. I wish y'all the best of luck. Everybody out there in fantasy football land, smash your opponent this week. Come at us with any questions. I'll let these guys
fumble. Derrick Henry just fumbled.
There's Seth with the
touchdown.
He fumbled. Oh, wait.
It's a touchdown.
Was it? I just saw the ball
Yeah,
pop out.
they scored. They recovered.
I hope
it,
it's a fumble. I hope it's a fumble though.
It is a fumble.
It's still a Derrick Henry fumble. Take those points down, son. Give me them points.
God, you're petty, man.
Oh, he's still at 33 points, man. Come on. I need everything I can.
Oh, you're going to run him into the ground in the fourth quarter. He's going to get another 10, 15 points. You watch.
Yeah.
This is just a little bump in the road.
Well, so who are you going for? I mean, obviously Lions. Or are you changing it up to the Seahawks?
No, I'm going. I'm confident in how I described the game going for this week, this Monday. I don't think Dan Campbell's going to learn from the past matchups, and he's not going to let the Seahawks control the game and control the ball possession. He's going to trust his running backs, trust his quarterback, and that defense is just going to do enough to hold the Seahawks to a respectable amount and not let them get blown out.
So what's your prediction on
Lions.
The score? What's your score prediction?
Score, I think. Well, depending on one or two, I think it's going to go the way of a high-scoring game. So I think it's going to be like 30-23.
Ooh.
I think it's going to be a single possession game.
Who did Shawnee pick? The Titans?
No, I think he just said something about if Tyreek Hill doesn't go off, that he's going to be concerned about Tyreek Hill going forward with this quarterback situation. I don't know if that means he took Miami or if he's taking Tennessee.
I'm saying
maybe he'll post it in the Facebook group. Tell us what you guys think about the matchups for Monday night in the Facebook group or out here in chat. What are you taking? Titans or Dolphins or Lions or Seahawks? No wrong answer.
So you said Seahawks, right?
No, I said Lions.
And you said it was going to be 33 to what?
It's going to be 30-23. It'll be a one-possession game.
Ooh. Dang, you guys are going to break up the Seahawks. They're undefeated, man.
Hey, someone's got to do it, and we're willing to take that torch.
Okay. And then,
the Lions have it going for them, too, that they're playing at home. They got the 12th man behind them. Or not 12th man, Seahawks. No, they got the fan base behind them. So that'll be a benefit and play in their favor because they've been known to cause false starts and whatnot. So I'm confident. And they got, you know what they're wearing tomorrow night?
What was that?
The all black uniforms. The new all black with the blue lion on the helmet.
Okay.
Looking fresh.
Look at it's gonna be a blackout affair. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. What about what about the Titans and Dolphins?
I'm gonna go Dolphins. I think their defense is solid enough to keep the Titans in check because Will Levis is, turnover prone, and that offense is proven to throw away games and not really close anybody out, and they're their own worst enemy. So I feel with the Dolphins, if they just get the quarterback play to be competent, get their playmakers the ball, have Achane bust those holes for them, that I think they could handily take this game. The score, I think, is probably going to be lower scoring than the other game. It'll probably be like a 21-13 kind of a matchup.
If that, right?
I think the Dolphins will take the game over the Titans.
Okay.
They have the better running game. They have the better wide receivers. They have the better defense. The only question mark is, do they have the better quarterback play or not, which we will see tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who are you taking out of those matchups?
Well, I picked the Lions and the Dolphins this morning. So
cool. So we're on the same page.
Yeah, man. I think it's going to be I think Dolphins are going to have enough to pull it out, especially with Tyler Huntley. He's like Lamar Jackson 2.0. So I think that's going to benefit.
That's what I thought. That's what he looked like playing for the Ravens. What was it, like 2 years ago?
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see like how he looks down there. I think it's gonna work out. I think it's gonna work out for sure. And then look, we got Michael Carpenter's picks. He picked the Lions and the Dolphins too.
Hell yeah!
It's across the board.
Smart
Lions
man.
and the Dolphins. I picked the Ravens for tonight, so I'm feeling good about that.
Jeez, you just put some money in Vegas, bro. You got that hot hand this year.
Man, I did pretty good today. I won't lie. I picked the Chiefs. I picked the Falcons. I picked the Bears. I picked Jags. I picked Colts. I had the Broncos winning. I had the Bucks winning. I had the Cardinals winning. I messed up on that one.
Yeah, I
And
did too. So you're not alone on that one. I didn't
yeah,
like.
so
I believe in the Washington offense, but I just felt like the Cardinals at home, they're probably going to play a little bit better, right?
yeah, against that defense, right? So I just didn't know their defense wasn't that good.
They
So
fooled on us. Shame,
yeah,
shame
right.
on them,
Fool me
or shame
once.
on
Last
us.
time I'm
So
picking them, right? Just
yeah,
like I
next
said, yeah.
time ain't gonna catch me.
Not at all, not at all, man, not at all. Well, hey, I mean, so look, so Tuesday we'll try to have your player of the week ready. So or your team of the week, if you want to get that
Okay.
over to me, Justin, and I'll get that
Yep.
made
Yep.
up. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the team of the week going into week 5 on Tuesday. So guys, if you can get jump over into the group, Shady Sports Network Fantasy Football, or Shady Sports Fantasy Football Reports. Shady Sports Fantasy Football Report. Say that 10 times fast. But no, jump
Good
over
luck.
to our. Oh, what was that?
I said good luck. I can't do it.
Yeah, right. Here, I'll put it up. It's the banner. There you go. Shady Sports
There
Fantasy
you go.
Reports. Facebook group. Come find us and then put your start set questions, whoever you want to touch on. So who you're thinking about.
Even if you want to play on our little segments that we came up with, like if you I'd like to hear your believe it or not. I'd like to hear your IDPs of the week. I'd like to hear about your assembled team of the week. Could try to score off and see how it matches up with mine. That'd be fun.
Heck yeah. Thanks, Deontay, for the love. Yeah, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and then please share. Please share. If you could share, if just every one of you guys watching would share it out, I think that would just kind of help us double up our viewers for moving forward, and we get a little bit more interaction. Let's get this thing engaged. Like we said from the beginning, we want a round table, so we want you guys coming on with us too, not just in the comments. We want you. I mean, come up here and chat. It's just all us watching, right? It's not like we don't have a million viewers yet.
We're not gonna bite your head off or anything.
Yeah, but we want to grow. Come grow with us, and we've been growing consistently, and we like you guys that have been consistently checking in with us too. So, catch us every Tuesday night, every Sunday night, every Sunday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So same but different. Same but different. I tell you, we're coming at night, but we're bringing it to you every time. So Tuesday we'll be touching on your start set questions. Should we start them? Should we set them? Who should we start? Who should we set? We'll introduce you into Justin's team of the week, his IDP player of the week, his believe it or not player of the week. We'll be touching on Shawnee's weekly winners. We'll be touching on Shawnee's weekly.
Oh, we missed out on his sucks, didn't we?
We kind of touched on it. I brought it in, and we were getting on time, but we touched on I think the quarterback sucks. No, we touched on the running back sucks because there's like Rashad White was on there. So we'll touch on those going into the week so you can help better plan your lineup. I think that's the goal. It's kind of help you
a little preview on the Thursday night game.
Thursday night game. Who is the Thursday night game?
It is. Who is it?
Yeah, you got me stumped, buddy.
It didn't catch my eye, or like it didn't seem. It got past me.
Oh wait, it is. Yeah. Damn, they obviously talked about it. It's some bummy game. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Oh wait, Thursday night. No, it's not bummy. It's Tampa Bay and Atlanta.
Ooh, right? That's got a lot of fantasy pieces involved in that one.
Right. So Thursday night game, Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Who you going for in that game?
I'm going Tampa Bay. As you kind of heard from me tonight, I'm like checked out on the Falcons. They're making me mad. They're frustrating me in fantasy, and I don't know. NFL wise, I guess they're adequate, but I just think they could be better, and they're not. to me at least.
Yeah. Well, that'll be on Amazon Prime. So Tuesday, guys, come back and check in with us for sure. Get your start. Should you start them? Should you set them? Get those questions in the Facebook group. We'll get those posted up, get some graphics posted up in there too, and just get more interaction going. That's the goal going forward, I guess. Thank you guys as always for checking in. Like I said, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And not just us either. I think there's like 2 or 3 other fantasy shows on Shady Sports Network.
Yeah,
I know one of them is like Dynasty, and then the other one is I think the other one's PPR as well. But we have fantasy football.
I think so.
We have I think the other one's PPR as well. There's alt leagues, we're going to be starting up some of those. The CFL is going right now, so we have that coverage going. We have the EFL or ELF, the European League football.
Yeah.
I think the Mexican League is still going on. So there's so many football leagues going on right now too, aside from the NFL.
Just the NFL.
Yeah, so check Shady Sports Network. There might be a team right there in your town that you didn't even know. I promise you there's a team close to you in some shape or form, whether it's indoor or outdoor tackle football. So check ShadySportsNetwork.com for more football coverage, basketball, other sports, wrestling. I know there's a wrestling show every Monday, I believe it is.
Is that the one you're producing, or is that a different one?
No, the one I'm producing, we're getting there.
Okay. So we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, no, of course we haven't. We have. I've been talking about it, but
yeah,
man, I'm getting up with the homie, and we're working kinks out. But do have the college football with Devin Rutledge. So I'm bringing you the college football. He's bringing you the college football updates, and I'm just simply pushing it out for him on the network. So and then he has his reactions to college football. So we got Saturdays covered as well over here on Mile High Bandwagon and Shady Sports Network.
We're busy.
Busy, trying to be as busy as possible. I just love doing this, and it feels like Justin loves doing it. It seems like Shawnee loves doing it. So,
even when I'm losing, I love helping you guys out. I love talking football. I love talking fantasy, getting through this together.
Exactly. So, guys, hey, just come stick with us. Hey, talk fantasy football, talk NFL, talk sports with us. We love it. And we'll continue to bring it out. We'll bring you what we can and bring you the information. If we can't bring in the information,
congrats on your Broncos for getting the win. Putting it to Aaron Rodgers and the Jersey boys.
I know he was ready to talk trash to Sean Payton.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, so
got him.
To my Broncos. It was an ugly win, but we pulled it out. Will Lutz missed that field goal. Probably, but that defense, man, has been playing solid every week, and
they're bailing Nix out. He had a kind of a also game, and they stepped up.
Hey, he's a rookie, man. I'm not expecting him to be like.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, Jaden Daniels is killing it, so everybody expects him to be killing it every week. But he got his first touchdown pass today, so that was good to go. I'm here for it, and then and then we got Baltimore just rolling in this game right now. Guys, thanks for joining us during the game. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Justin, you got anything else?
No, that's you nailed it all on the head. So I look forward to seeing more of you and all of you in Tuesday's show. And thanks for everybody who showed up tonight. No, everyone who had a comment or a question, thank you. We appreciate that. I love all the input and the engagement you have with us on our show, because we do it mostly for you guys.
Yes, Pristine, Mike. Who was the other one? Oh, then we had who was it? Just come in just now, Jay Hookie, I think it was.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we had quite a bit of people. Oh, Jookie Holic, thanks for joining in on Twitch over there. So Landon Plays, thank you all you guys for chiming in with your comments and your questions. That's just the vision we got, is for you guys just to interact. You get on the show, or if not, jump in the comments, jump in those questions. We will address you. I promise you. I don't care if we have 3 comments or if we have 300 comments. We'll keep the show going, and we'll go through it. I promise you, we'll get through it. So we're here for it. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and as always, we love you guys. Thanks for watching. Justin, I'll catch you on the flip side.
Peace.
I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer.